Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. Imagine this. Buried somewhere in the rugged beauty of Palo Duro Canyon in Texas lies a wooden trunk containing $1,020 gold pieces, worth $20,000 when buried over a century ago and worth millions today. The treasure is marked by a large flat rock, placed 3 feet underground near a stunted tree within sight of where a cabin once stood. Despite generations of treasure hunters scouring every inch of what is now Palo Duro Canyon State Park, this fortune remains hidden. But this isn't just about buried treasure. It's a tale of dreams pursued across a continent, of striking it rich in California's gold fields, of family bonds tested by greed and tragedy, and of how grief can transform a man into something monstrous. This is the story of the Casner family, and the blood-soaked fortune that lies buried in the Texas Panhandle. Our story begins in central Alabama in the 1840s, where John Casner worked modest acreage growing feed corn and vegetables. Moderately successful but not wealthy, he supported himself and his 3 sons after his wife's death. The Casners lived a quiet, predictable life rooted in Alabama soil, with no reason to believe their world was about to change forever. Then came news that altered everything. Gold had been struck in California. Like thousands of other Americans, John Casner felt the magnetic pull of the gold rush. The promise of striking it rich was irresistible. In a decision that would echo through generations, Casner sold his farm, gathered his sons, and joined the great westward migration seeking fortune in the Sierra Nevada mountains. The journey west took the Casners through the Texas Panhandle, where they encountered Palo Duro Canyon's spectacular landscape. John Casner gazed into that majestic canyon and felt something stir within him. He told his sons that someday he would return to establish a sheep ranch in this place. Little did he know that Palo Duro Canyon would become both the site of his family's greatest success and their most devastating tragedy. The Casners reached California and threw themselves into backbreaking gold panning. For 2 grueling years, they worked dozens of streams in the Sierra Nevadas, standing in ice-cold mountain water, sifting through countless pans of gravel. Their dedication was extraordinary and their success remarkable. When they finally accumulated enough gold, they traveled to the United States Mint in Carson City, Nevada, exchanging their treasure for $1,020 gold pieces, $20,000 in an era when a working man might earn $300 yearly. The Casners had struck it rich beyond their wildest dreams. But wealth changes people. As the family lingered in Carson City, enjoying their fortune, John found himself torn between futures. He remembered those rich Texas Panhandle pastures and suggested investing in sheep ranching. Yet just as they prepared to leave for Texas, gold fever struck again, affecting John and his son Lou. Here's where our story takes its first fateful turn. The family split. 2 sons, committed to the sheep ranch dream, headed for Texas carrying the family's entire fortune. John and Lou decided to prospect through Southern California, Arizona, and New Mexico. They agreed to reunite at the ranch within 2 years, but this separation would prove permanent. The Texas-bound brothers were shrewd businessmen. Along their route through New Mexico, they purchased sheep from Indian herders, accumulating a handsome herd by the time they reached Palo Duro Canyon. They selected a perfect location deep in the canyon near the Red River headwaters, built a sturdy sod and log cabin, hired a young Navajo herder, and developed a successful ranching operation. But here's where the story becomes legendary. Needing to secure the gold they weren't using immediately, the brothers chose a spot near their cabin, within sight of their home, by a distinctive stunted tree. There, they dug a hole 3 feet deep and buried a wooden trunk filled with gold coins. They covered it carefully and placed a large flat rock on top as both concealment and marker. This simple act of burying treasure would spawn a mystery continuing to this day. For a time, the brothers lived peacefully in their canyon paradise. But their isolation, which provided security, also made them vulnerable to dangerous frontier men. Enter Sostenes Archiveque, a name that terrorized Rio Grande settlements in New Mexico. This wasn't an ordinary criminal. He was a killer driven by consuming hatred. As a child, Archiveque had watched Americans kill his parents, and from that moment harbored intense hatred for all whites. By the time he wandered into Palo Duro Canyon, he had reportedly murdered at least 23 Americans. Archiveque had been driven from his territory by communities that banded together against him. Now seeking new places to plunder, he'd heard tantalizing stories about 2 American brothers in Palo Duro Canyon, raising sheep and rumored to have buried a gold fortune. For someone who despised Americans and craved easy wealth, the Casners represented an irresistible target. Archiveque rode into the canyon with his band of killers and a kidnapped Mexican boy taken from Tascosa 3 days earlier. The terrorized boy, forced to tend horses and cook, had been warned that escape meant death. Archiveque's approach demonstrated calculating evil. Rather than attacking directly, he requested permission to hunt deer in the canyon. The unsuspecting brothers, practicing frontier hospitality, gave permission, provided directions, and invited Archiveque for dinner. During that final meal the brothers would share, Archiveque extended a return invitation. Would they join tomorrow's hunt? The brothers agreed, sealing their fate. The next morning, one brother rode out with Archiveque and 2 men into the canyon's deeper reaches. The other remained at the cabin for chores. They rode single file through a dense thicket along a narrow trail, ostensibly hunting deer. Halfway through that thicket, with the brother leading and Archiveque behind, the outlaw drew his revolver, spurred his horse close, and shot the rancher in the head. After rifling pockets and taking his watch, Archiveque returned to the cabin for the second act. The remaining brother suspected something when men returned early without his brother. Archiveque lied smoothly. There'd been an accident, and he'd ridden back for help. While the brother saddled his horse to assist, Archiveque approached from behind and shot him through the head. Archiveque then ordered the kidnapped boy to kill the Navajo herder. The terrified boy agreed, knowing refusal meant death. But once out of sight, courage overcame fear. Instead of murder, he warned the herder, explained what happened, and raced to Tascosa, reporting the killings to an Indian sheepherder named Colas Martinez. With brothers dead, Archiveque sought the real prize, buried gold. He tore the cabin apart, searched every corner, then expanded to the yard, digging holes in promising locations. But the treasure remained hidden, protected by careful planning and the outlaw's ignorance. Frustrated, Archiveque returned to Tascosa. But the boy's report had set justice in motion. Several residents organized and waited for opportunity. When they cornered Archiveque, they shot him dead, ending his reign of terror. A week later, 2 cowboys from Charles Goodnight's ranch discovered the aftermath. They found scattered sheep but no herder, then the brothers' bodies at cabin and trail. Goodnight investigated personally, appalled by the senseless murders. For months, he told newspaper reporters about the killings, hoping to locate relatives. Near Silver City, New Mexico, John Casner and son Lou worked a gold claim with partners Bell and Barry. Neither Casner could read. When Lou returned from town with newspaper-wrapped supplies, he discarded the paper. That evening, partner Barry read aloud, describing murders in Palo Duro Canyon. John recognized the property description and realized the victims were his sons. Next day, they abandoned mining and headed for Texas. Meeting Charles Goodnight, John confirmed his identity and revealed crucial information. His sons had buried nearly $20,000 in gold near their cabin. Despite extensive searching, they found nothing. The treasure remained hidden, its location known only to the dead. But grief was transforming John into something dangerous. Learning a Mexican outlaw killed his sons, he developed irrational hatred for all Mexicans. Despite Goodnight's warnings about fragile regional relations, Casner swore to kill every Mexican in the area. The following week, Casner and son rode into Tascosa and murdered Colas Martinez, the very man whose actions had brought justice for the Casner brothers. In blind rage, they didn't realize Martinez was Indian, not Mexican, and certainly didn't understand he was their son's avenger. Violence escalated when they hung Martinez's wife by her thumbs, demanding she reveal the treasure's location. The innocent woman knew nothing about gold. They finally cut her down, rode away, and were never seen again, leaving innocent blood and an enduring mystery. If you would like to see a lost gold story by where I grew up, click on the link in the description. Join my Patreon community and discover my art print products on my website in the links provided in my description and link above. Also, if you would like a particular image from my videos, give the timestamp for image, and I will upload it to my website and Patreon. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest gold story. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold stories, and adult bedtime stories. If you like a certain image from my videos, tell me in comments and give timestamp. Happy trails. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.